Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for your question. A lot of questions about the Musiala injury, Jan. And people are asking, have you ever been involved in a game with such a bad injury that you lose focus on actually playing the game?
Well, I have to take you back to 1988. Norway plays Scotland. We have a hope to be qualified for a World Cup. On the other side, there is a guy called Steve Nicol. We have a playmaker called Tom Sundby, who is our hope to lead our troops. 5 minutes later, he was stretched off the pitch after Steve Nicol took him out. So Steve Nicol sometimes is booed in Norway.
Wow.
We have
booed
discussed
everywhere.
that.
It's not just Norway.
Yeah, but he's a kind guy. But we remember that he was a killer on the pitch.
Wow.
And he took Tom Sundby out, and that kind of took the hope away, and we lost the game.
Never sent off. Stevie, have you been in a situation where someone's been...
I had a tough situation with one of my teammates. We were playing away at Chelsea. Zola's coming in on a one-on-one. And as I go down to kind of get big, my teammate slides in to try to tackle, and my knee went and tib-fibbed my teammate.
Wow.
I mean, it honestly, it sounded like the plastic shin guard was snapped in half. And did
he recover?
Not to the level that he was before the injury.
Like psychologically, how does that affect you, like for the rest of the game?
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I bet.
Clearly.
And you have the opposition's goalkeeper saying that you were dirty and you should never have done it. It reacted differently.
Yeah, it was just, well, I mean, clearly Donnarumma knew that after the match, not as he came out for the second half. But yeah, it's tough, and I saw him in the hospital afterwards, and yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, you feel horrible.
Ali?
I've seen it happen on the field. It was at Salt Lake. It was Javi Morales, who was an important player for Salt Lake at the time. And what I can tell you from that particular instance is that as we were walking into the stadium hours before the match, our bus couldn't come through initially because there was an ambulance blocking. And the fact that we had to walk past the ambulance, I had an uneasy feeling about it.
Really?
And it wasn't, I mean, it's easy to say now after the guy gets his leg mangled and destroyed on the field. But there was something about that ambulance as I walked by that I was like, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. And sure enough, 10 minutes into the game, this guy's legs get snapped in half. And it just changes the mood of everything.
Of course.
It feels like everything that happens in the game, even though you are paid to play the game, you're paid to win that match, it feels like there is a reality of what's going on in the game, and then there's a reality of what actually happened in the game. And if you're not able to put this to the side, the game itself becomes secondary.
Not in a football game, I'll use another sport. I was playing cricket and I was batting number 4 and the number 3 went in, and we were playing against a team that had a couple of West Indian fast bowlers, and he bowled a bouncer, he got smashed in the face. This was before helmets. He got smashed in the face, so his nose was broken, he was stretched off, there's blood all over the wicket. He's stretchered off, the ambulance picks him up and takes him to hospital. I'm now next in. So I've got sawdust on the blood that's on the field, and now I've got to face this bowler who's bowling at 90 miles an hour without a helmet on. I've got to say, I wasn't too keen on getting behind it. On this occasion, I didn't last very long, I have to say. But it was a horrible situation to see one of your mates with his face.
You know what the common denominator is in all those injuries? That the people that, when they see it happening, it's bad when people start walking away.
Yeah.
Like when there's everybody walks away and there's one that is freaking out and giving it the whole, and you know right then and there, this is not your regular foul.
Meanwhile, Jan, thoughts on Arsenal taking one of Chelsea's worst attackers? Of course, Madueke apparently has agreed personal terms with Arsenal. It's now about the two clubs to try and make it work. Juan Maresca probably wanted to upgrade in the summer anyway.
Well, I think we should praise Arsenal to be truthful to their strategy to recruit the wrong players. They don't know all the time. I think that Madueke could be a hit. But this is not what I need at the moment. But I will forgive them if they come in with other players on different positions. We know what they need. Madueke seems like one of those funny things again that Arsenal are doing, but maybe he needs a new environment, and a new environment he's going to blossom. But I'm not sure where they're going to use him. They've taken another Chelsea player. They've tried out before. Let's see where they're going.
Raheem Sterling, of course.
I'm trying to see that Tottenham shirt back behind Jan.
What, a Tottenham shirt?
Well, if he just took out Arsenal, I was waiting for the Tottenham shirt right there.
No, this is a Frankfurt case.
Okay.
Casey, take the gloves away from your face, please.
Robbo, Madueke to Arsenal, does this...
It seems a strange one because he's done okay for Chelsea without being top class. They've had Raheem Sterling there from Chelsea. He didn't do particularly well. I presume he's going to challenge Martinelli because the crowd aren't overly convinced with Martinelli.
Right.
He's the one player, Saka is magnificent on the right-hand side. Martinelli comes and goes every so often, so maybe that's where he's going to play.
Ali, aren't Leao and Rashford just one more Joao Felix? No disrespect, but I can't understand Barca fans wanting Leao so much when he still plays at AC Milan at 26. No pressing, no work ethic, but a lot of dribbling highlights.
All right. The part in which he still plays at AC Milan at 26, I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. I know that Milan is not, I guess, what it was in the 90s, but it's still a major brand in the world. Regardless, to the point of Rafael Leao, is the kind of player that would drive you crazy. As a manager, would drive you insane and could potentially get you fired.
Does it drive you more crazy as a ex-professional because maybe you didn't have the skills that he had naturally to then watch him waste them?
Absolutely. And I think it's a conversation that we've had before in which I see some of this behavior and I kind of go, man, just give me some of that speed.
Right.
I'll make it work. I'll take care of the rest. Just give me some of that. But here's the thing, Rafael Leao probably his whole life as a player, because of that natural set of skills, he's been able to run past people, and he's been able to be the bully in the playground, if you will. He has the skill set that could potentially make him a first-tier, top-tier sort of player. But I don't think, and I think by now we know this is the correct answer, I don't think that he has what it takes up here.
Right.
That he doesn't quite have the heart, the soul, and the mind that it takes from being a good player to be a great player.
Go on, Jan.
Even Bayern said no to him, and that takes some. Because they got no from every player, and even Bayern said no to Leao. So that tells you the story.
How do you deal as a coach, Robert, with these sort of players? You don't deal with them very well, I know.
No, you'd get rid of him eventually because
again,
we go back to the thing where we say you don't judge him by the great games.
Right.
You don't judge him by his worst games. You judge him by his average game, and his average game doesn't make him a world-class player. He doesn't do enough week in, week out to say that he can go to a big club.
You know what he could be, Rafael Leao, if you were putting a highlight of him together.
Yeah.
And if you had never seen him play,
yeah,
and you put together a highlight of Rafael Leao, you would think this guy was the best player in the world. Because he can give you those moments in which he effortlessly is running past people, but doesn't do it enough, doesn't do it consistently, and therefore is a player of what might have been and what could have been.
And likewise, the other player that you mentioned, Marcus Rashford.
Right, yeah.
Because
and
he's exactly the
Felix
same.
And Leroy Sané, we could be here all night. For all, right, start, bench or sell? Saka, Kvaratskhelia, Olise.
I would, at the top of my list, so on the pitch, Kvaratskhelia, because, I mean, she's magnificent when Saka, I would put on the bench. And, and who was the other one you said? Olise. I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he's at the level of the other two, so I would have him as the one I'd discard.
I like
Case,
that.
you agree?
Yeah, I like that.
Jan?
Yeah, Kvaratskhelia is my all-time favorite player because he could play in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s. He is that kind of player. Olise maybe been the best player in Germany this season, so that's going to be a hard one. But I guess because because Casey saw some Tottenham shirt behind me, I say I will keep Saka.
Well, just to curry favour. Are you, and more importantly, Ali, going to change your predictions for the Club World Cup again? What prediction did you get wrong, Ali?
I have to.
What did you say, James?
I liked Bayern.
You had Bayern to go, yeah.
But you didn't know why.
I didn't know why. I just had a feeling, and then the first half I thought, hey, that feeling was right, and then.
Well, what I had was Al Hilal going all the way to the final.
Okay, so
Right,
obviously-
but my prediction was for Real Madrid to win it.
Okay, and you stand
You
by
still
that?
got a chance.
And I'm still flying with that.
There we go.
I'm a man of principle. I'm sticking to it.
All
We're
right.
stubborn either way.
Okay. Kasey, if the USA lose by 2 or 3 tomorrow, will it be a surprise?
It will be a surprise because Mexico aren't that good of a team to think that they should go win 3-0.
Okay.
Okay. Would it be a surprise if Mexico won? No. But by that kind of convincing manner, just because if you've watched Mexico through this tournament, it's a Mexican side that defends well, that gets a goal and hangs on. It's not a team that you're like free-flowing and attack-minded and have dynamic players to run past defenders. It's more just a workman Mexico.
Right.
And they'll be the home team in Houston, and I could see them grinding out a 1-0 result against.
So you're predicting
US.
Mexico to
No,
win?
I'm not.
You just said you could see
No,
them win.
I said I could see that.
Right, well, that's normally a prediction, isn't it?
No,
So what's your prediction, Case?
I think Mexico might win 1-0.
That is it. It's all gone wrong. I think after tomorrow, you never speak about the Gold Cup again this year.
Yes. No. Again, coin toss.
Robbo, final question. Let's go back in the archives. What's the greatest goal you ever scored?
The best goal I ever scored was, unfortunately, in front of one of the lowest crowds I ever played in front of. I was playing for Wimbledon.
Right?
Sorry, I wasn't playing for Wimbledon. I was playing for Coventry at Wimbledon.
Okay.
And if anybody can remember the Hoddle goal that he scored against Watford when he chips the goalkeeper from
Okay,
on an
that's
angle.
not the right,
No.
not right demographic,
So anyway,
Robbo. Maybe
so-
Lamine Yamal's done something more recently than Hoddle.
Not with his right foot. He does it with his left foot.
Okay.
So I was taking the ball towards the corner flag and
Yes.
reverse chipped it back over the top of the goalkeeper.
Did you mean to do it, or was it a cross?
Absolutely meant to.
So where were you on the pitch when this occurred?
So on the corner of the penalty area.
Yes.
So I'm running away from the goal,
You turn
and I
it-
knew the goalkeeper was at the near post, and I just dinked it over.
So you put it in the cross?
Besant? Who's
Well, unfortunately, the coach of the opposition, who was Peter With at the time, said if he meant that, he was a genius.
Wow.
But I don't think he meant it.
Peter
But I
With-
can tell you,
I'm hearing someone's
I meant
watching it right now, and there is nobody in attendance for this.
There is nobody. 2,500.
Was it a real game?
It was a real game. It was on Boxing Day.
Okay.
1991.
Yeah. He's saying it is in colour. That's a bit cheeky, isn't it? It's not very nice.
Oh dear, who's that? The producer?
Yeah.
I never liked him.
Well,
Yeah,
there we
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Join the club. That is it. That brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow?
Soccer ball.
Soccer. There isn't much.
Gold Cup final.
Gold Cup final. Yes, I
Come
know.
on.
Look at
What's
it.
happening tomorrow?
What about the confidence of Kasey in the United States?
A
Yes?
full.
Well, maybe, yeah, could do. No, they might.
Yeah, coin toss 1-0.